We now welcome the number 4 ranked UFC flyweight contender in the world, Alex Perez. Alex, thank you for the time today, sir.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press.
Hello, Alex. Can you take us into the moment? Just they call you, Cody's out, you're fighting for the UFC title. Where were you at? Just break it down, all of it.
So I get a call from my manager. They were at Fire Island, so I was at home sleeping already by the time they called me. And I get a call by like 12:30 at night, and everybody knows like, I'm in bed by 10, 12, 11, the latest. And put my phone on Don't Disturb. He calls me, and I'm like, man, it's got to be important. He never calls me this late, and I obviously couldn't wait. So I like answer the phone, like, what's up, man? He's like, hey, man, Cody's out. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, Cody's out. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. And he's like, you're fine for the title. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, you're fine for a title. I'm like, wait, what? Like, it kind of hit me, took a little, to hit me, but once it got it, I was like, oh, man. And then my training partner, Ricky Simone, was staying with me. And I was like, hey, dude, I'm fine for the title. All excited. I go back into bed, and I'm like, it's like, they said 12:30. I'm laying there in bed, like trying to go back to sleep. I was like, should I go run right now, or should I what should I do? I think I got like only like 2-3 hours of sleep that night, just thinking about it. Excited, all the emotions. All the hard work I put in the last 10 years plus with the wrestling, and when I started MMA, it's paying off. This is what we all work for, and to get the opportunity like this is amazing.
I saw in the countdown, and I see a lot of people bringing this up. You would be the first Contender Series guy to win a UFC title. You'd be the first Contender Series guy to win a UFC main event, for that matter. I mean, does that give you more motivation? Are you a guy who doesn't really put a lot of weight into those kind of stats? Just can you talk about all of that stuff that people are bringing up?
I really don't pay attention to a lot of that stats, but I am proud to be one of the first guy to fight for a title off that show. Because look at the stars that are coming out of there, the talent that's coming out of there. Um, all good guys, obviously, ranked guys that are making noise in the UFC and their weight classes. So I'm proud to be a Contender Series alumni and to be fighting for the title. But other than that, I really don't look too much into it. It's just another like thing off my checklist, my bucket list, that I'm doing.
Can I ask, so the flyweight division not too long ago on life support, will it stay? Will it go? Now, this is arguably the biggest night for the flyweights. Obviously, you have Moreno and Royval on the undercard. You have the women's flyweights on the card, obviously. Can you talk about what it means to you to be a part of this event and being the headliner?
It's amazing. I'm a kid from a small town, and you know, uh, to be on a UFC poster, I got some of my family is here in Vegas. Send me pictures of the bulletin board and seeing my face on posters and stuff like that. Uh, you know, you, People from small towns usually don't get that stuff. And just to be that guy to do it in my town, I'm the first guy in my town to make it to UFC. I'm the first guy in my town fighting for a UFC title. It brings a lot of pride and joy, and especially being a part of a main event, fighting for the title. In Vegas, the capital of fighting. It's amazing. It's a blessing.
Finally, I know you fight out of Team Oyama. Can you talk about who you brought with you to be in your corner for this one?
So obviously I bring Coach Colin Oyama. I've been with him for about 6 years. I brought Givo Santana. I've trained with him about 6 years as well. And I brought Chito Vera. He's like my brother, training partner, guy. I mean, we push each other on a daily. And I brought my coach from back home. I started training in Limoro with Timo Choa, and I brought him with me. He's been at a couple of my fights. He's the guy that got me started in MMA. His name's Miro Morales. He's, we used to have practice in his garage, and he used to live about 10, 15 minutes away from me. He would come pick me up, take me to his house to train, and drop me back off home. So this is like a payment, like the gratitude I'm going to show for him, to bring him along this journey is, amazing, because without him, I probably wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have known what MMA was.
Hey, thank you, Alex, and good luck.
Thank you.
We'll take the next set of questions from Augusto Niaz-Gay with Somos MMA.
Hey Alex, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Alex, first of all, this will be your first title fight in the UFC, so I want to know, how are you feeling right now this week? Are you nervous, anxious, confident? What's going on?
A little bit of all the above, man. I'm confident always because how hard I train and all the work I put in. Um, Nervous because I'm about to fight someone. Someone's gonna try to kill me. Anxious because I've been training for 8 9 weeks to fight. I feel amazing. It's probably the best I've ever felt. The best my body has felt. As cliche as that sounds, everybody says that every interview, but this is the best I've ever felt.
And about the preparation, how has it been for this fight? This fight week so far, also, was it different for you?
No, for me, I keep everything the same. Why change was not broken, I train with the same team, same people. Um, Obviously the weight's good with the same nutritionist. I don't change much. There's no reason to change something just because it's a title fight. It's still a fight. I still do the same training, same everything. Obviously I get more time to prepare. It was 8 weeks, so that's probably the biggest change of all.
I understand. Alex, Figueiredo has said a few days ago that he sees no danger in you and that you're slow. Do you think that him underestimating you is something that you can capitalize and turn your favor?
Honestly, it doesn't really matter what
Uh-huh.
anybody says. It doesn't bug me. He's saying that because he's hyping himself up. My fights speak for themselves. If he thinks I'm slow, then I guess I'm slow. There's not really much to say. If he underestimated me, then cool. I figure that a lot of my opponents do, just because I'm not a big known name kind of guy. Like I didn't get signed for straight to the UFC. They weren't looking like, hey, we need to sign Alex Perez. I worked my way in here. I did come off the Contender Series. Uh, People don't know that I got a short notice fight on the Contender Series. It wasn't like they wanted me there. Like, hey, you want to fill in? Oh, cool, take it. You know, and stuff like that. So I feel like if he's underestimating me, then okay, that's on him. We'll see what happens Saturday.
Okay, and my final question. What are going to be the keys for your victory and what do you have to avoid when you get in there with Deves and Figueredo?
Keys to victory is just be myself and have fun. When I do that, I'm the best in the world. Um, for him, I just gotta honestly just do my thing. I'm not really worried about what he's doing.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
We will take our next set of questions from Danny Segura with MMA Junkie.
Hey Alex, I know you just earlier you explained how you got the call and how you found out about the news. But did you expect the call? I mean, did you think that, hey, look, if something happens in the main event and someone pulls out, I could be next and be stepping in there on short notice?
Yeah, I felt like I was next in line just off based on my performance against Flamingo. Everybody says Brandon Moreno, but we both fought the same guy. He went all 3 rounds with them, got a decision. Where I felt like it was a split. I felt like Jasur could have won. Um, Personally, might be a little biased because Jasur's my friend, but we fought the same guy and I finished him in 1 round, so I felt like I was next in line.
And you mentioned that Jussi is your friend. What exactly is your relationship? I know he fought at Tachi Palace, right, where you fought as well. I know he has a lot of history there. How do you guys are friends? How do you guys know?
So when he first made his Tachi Palace debut, I actually went to the airport to pick him up. And then when I was getting ready to fight my second amateur fight, I actually trained with him a little bit because he was in Limor for a few weeks. So got to train with him before his fight. I helped him cut weight, just hung out for a while. And then ever since then, we've always kept in touch. We're not the best of friends, but once a month, we're like, hey, how are you doing? How's training? How are you feeling? How's your son? We spend a lot of time talking, stuff like that. That's why we know each other. I kept in contact with him for the last 10 years. So, I do consider him a good friend. He's a very great role model for people in the sport. Very highly spoken about. Just a good guy in general.
Nice, yeah. Formiga's a Tachi Palace legend. And I guess you fought him. Was it hard to get in there and fight him, knowing that you guys are cool?
I think it's always hard fighting a friend, but at the end of the day, it's business. Coronavirus hit. I need to make money to support myself and my family. He needs to make money. If he had a problem with fighting me, he would not sign the contract. I think it was a mutual thing. Like after the fight, we talked. I called him, checking on him when he was injured. Like, hey, how's your leg, or how's your shoulder? Because I seen that he got shoulder surgery. Asking him how things like that were. It's business when you get in there. I come from a wrestling background. I remember wrestling some of my friends at at tournaments and we're trying to suplex each other, through the freaking mat. So I think I got it from there. Like, hey, when you're on the mat, it's business. When you're in the cage, it's business. Outside of it, you guys can be friends.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if you knew, but recently it was reported that he was actually released from the promotion, and it caught a lot of people by surprise because he's one of the best flyweights out there. Kind of, what are your thoughts on that? And since he's a friend, are you kind of I guess a little sad that he's no longer with the UFC?
Yeah, it sucks that he's got cut from the UFC. He's one of the best guys in the world. He's been one of the best guys in the world for a long time. I mean, he's been in the conversation of the top, at least top five for sure, since the flyweight division has been opened in the UFC. But just since the flyweight division was outside when Tachipas had all the main flyweights, he's been up there. It sucks that he's not in the UFC, but I'm guarantee you some organization outside it's gonna pick him up. They would pick up a talent like that. I mean, that would be a mistake not to pick him up.
And lastly, obviously, the champion, Davison Figueiredo has proven to have, very good striking, very good jiu-jitsu as well on the ground. You got wrestling, you got striking as well. So I guess what's kind of the strategy here? Are you kind of open to go anywhere in the fight, or you want to keep that on the feet? How do you see this one going?
Honestly, it's wherever it goes. I feel comfortable everywhere. I've been training. It's not like I just trained, one specific thing just for this fight. I worked all my stuff from the wrestling to the striking to the grappling. I'm ready for whatever the fight goes. I'm expecting a 25-minute war. I know he's no slouch, and if he think, I'm pretty sure he thinks I'm not a slouch. I think he's gonna think we're going 25 minutes. If it ends early, it ends early. But I'm there for a war.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. I appreciate the time. Best of luck on Saturday.
Well, man, thank you.
We will take our next set of questions from Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Alex. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the first thing I want to ask you is about Chito. You said that he's like your brother. For how long have you trained or been friends with Chito?
So I met Chito in Vegas about 4 years ago, training at Syndicate MMA. He was kind of in town for the UFC fights. I was here helping Carla Esparza for her fight. And then maybe like 2 weeks later, maybe 3 weeks later, he came to move in with us in Irvine, California. He came to move there, and we lived together for a long time. I got to kind of hear his story and his background, and and then from there, just been going on from there. We grinded together when it was just me and him at the gym, and then Team Oyama, all the guys started coming back. People were injured and stuff like that, and we've just always been super close. And I learned a lot from him, and I have a lot of respect for what he did when he first got to US. Staying away from his family for 8-9 months without seeing his kids, and just things like that. So it made me respect him that much more. And he's one of the guys that pushes me on a daily. Whether it's running, whether we're striking, we're sparring, we're always competing against each other, but in a good way. We're lifting weights, we're like talking mess to each other, but we're always competing. It's always a good time with him, and he's always in my corner. I respect him a lot, and he's always just good energy.
Okay, I get it. That's awesome. Do you think if you get the title, that will motivate Chito to get the title on his category?
Yeah, I mean that's all our goals. Mine and Cheetos and everybody at Team Oyama is to be a champion. Wherever organization they're in. Cheeto has all the tools to be champion, and pretty sure he'll get there soon.
Okay, I get it. So talking about the fight, where do you think Davison is more dangerous?
I mean, I would have to say his on the stand-up part, because that's the part he shows the most. He really doesn't show his jiu-jitsu, even though he has it. Doesn't really show it. So I would say the stand-up part. I mean, like I said, against Benavidez, he showed a great armbar in that first fight when they were scrambling. He hit the armbar out of nowhere. In the second fight, he choked him out, and he's had submissions. He's well-rounded everywhere, but I would say his stand-up is probably where he's most confident in.
Okay, so you talk about Cody, then Cody respond you. But if you get the title, would you be interested fighting Cody for the title?
I'm not worried about that. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm worried about Davidson, and then the next thing is worried about having my kid. And other than that, everything else will play out.
Okay, my last question is, what's your prediction for the fight?
Me winning. I visualize it every night before I go to bed, subbing him, knocking him out, TKO, going to decision. It's in my head that I'm gonna win.
Okay, would you like to send a message to your Ecuadorian fans?
Hey, thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. Me and Cheeto are coming to do big things.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex, and good luck on your fight.
Thank you.
We will take the last set of questions from Carlos Contreras with Milenio Diario.
Hi, Alex. We obviously hoping not to happen this time, but Davidson had trouble with weight in the past. Does it get you worried that at some point, I don't know, maybe that you had to change opponent for Friday, or does it get something in your mind? I mean, like worrying about his weight?
Nah, I can't control what happens with him. I'm focused on myself 100%. I'm here. I'm here to make weight. I'm here to fight. Whether it's him or someone else, it doesn't matter. I'm here to be UFC champion.
And you were talking about the Cody Garbrandt comments, and what we talked when the UFC offered him or announced him as the next contender, because we all were all thinking that it was you or either Brandon Moreno. No, he was out of the map for experts and fans.
I mean, it is what it is. Honestly, like I was upset. I mean, who wouldn't be upset? But just like everything else in life, life isn't fair sometimes. You just gotta, when you get knocked down, you gotta get up and keep going. My mind like, hey, he got the title shot, cool. I could go through Brandon Moreno to get the title shot. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. The only thing I can do is win and control what I can control. I can't worry about anybody else besides myself.
You studied Brandon, and that fight that seemed to be in the future for you both, right? At some point.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens. As long as like when I win this title, as long as he keeps winning, then yeah, I'm not worried about what's gonna happen in the future. I'm just worried about Saturday.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alex. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
Cool, man. Thank you guys.